What do the Boy Scouts of America and flowers have to do with design thinking? Stick around and I'll tell you how. Hey everybody, it's Eric Moore and welcome to the Daily Design Thinker. Now, if you haven't seen my channel before, take a look at our premiere episode where we talk a little bit about the history of design thinking and a powerful method you can use straight away to start to see how it works and use on a daily basis. And that's what we do here at this channel, is we explore the design thinking methods that you can use in your everyday lives. And no, it's not just for designers. So the Boy Scouts of America, for those of you who don't know, was an organization started here decades ago to help young boys get out into nature and create ways in which they can explore their environments and hopefully keep them out of trouble. But early on, they came up with a way in which to quantify the boys' observation as they went on these hikes or camping trips, a method they called rose, thorn, bud. Now, if you think about it, the rose at the top is really the pretty part. And as you start to go down the stem, you have the thorn, the prickly part, area you want to avoid, and the bud, areas that are just about to blossom, starting anew. And it's unclear when those will happen, but it's a way of taking note of what you're observing in your world. So in design thinking, this method and approach is used to make observation about a particular situation or problem that you're trying to solve for. If we go back to the rose, these are what we would consider the good parts, things that are positive or have good feelings associated with them. The thorn may not necessarily be all bad or negative, but just things that you might need to avoid. Think like internal politics or maybe a sticky subject that you might not be willing to discuss at that moment. Or it could just be, hey, that was a bad situation, bad environment, bad code, whatever the application is. Try to not think of it just in negative forms. And then the bud, that's the opportunity, the new thing that may be coming. And just like ideas or thought processes, you don't want to necessarily just throw them away because they're not fully formed. You want to keep them around and nurture them and potentially see where they end up. So a way to start to put this to use in your daily lives is by using multicolored sticky notes. So here we have, the rose, the pink part. You can pick any color, just agree as a group what color you're going to use to represent goodness. In this case, I picked pink or red. You've also got blue, which represents the thorny or the negative parts. These are things that you're cooling on, you're not quite connecting to. And lastly, we've got bud, or green. And no jokes in there about marijuana, people, but yes, the bud is green in this case, and that there's potential to become better or a new project or a new idea. And you can start to put these around your house, your office, but really start to get others involved and try to keep, if anything, one idea, one thought per sticky note. Don't try to get overcomplicated and explain, just make the observation and put it down. The whole point is to provoke conversation, to have dialogue and build consensus. One of the two key components of design thinking is consensus. Yes, I agree with your observation. Yes, I understand now why you've described it the way you have. Sometimes people just don't know, which is building the next major key ingredient, which is empathy. And so you can start to think about applications for this. And if you're not in an office space or where you could use this, you can actually use this in your daily life. I use rose, thorn, bud to communicate with my teenage daughter. Now, if you have any teenagers, you know sometimes it's hard to get them to talk to you or be communicative. So I asked her to frame her day using rose, thorn, bud, which was good, which was bad, which had opportunities or things that could get better. Start to think about how you would use them. They are very applicable in everybody's daily lives. They can just be for you. They could be a journaling mechanism. How did you feel that day? And then at the end of the month or the year, go back to those notes and start to figure out where you can make changes, whether it's a life change or just the way you communicate. Because sometimes, as you discover through this process, it's not necessarily what you're saying, but how you say it.